In Hong Kong, we live and breathe ingenuity. Nothing can hold us back. We build this city not just on height and ambition, but also on a future we envision. If we can't go out, we go up. And if we can't go up, we find a way through. We grow business, and we also grow life. We don't just embrace culture, we experience it in a new light. Here we're always innovating, not only for Hong Kong, but also for the Greater Bay Area and for the world. We've been propelling success for 20 years, and the best is yet to come. Innovation starts here.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Hong Kong International Airport is one of the world's busiest, and a multi-billion US dollar transformation is underway to enhance capacity and functionality. The expansion features a third runway, retail and office space, an aviation academy and dormitory, a cove, autonomous car park, and expansion of MICE space. It is 10 years in the making with multiple stakeholders. This sea change is known as Airport City. Joining us now to discuss this are key players in the airport expansion plan. We have VIVIAN CHEUNG, Executive Director, Airport Operations at Airport Authority Hong Kong, LEUNG, Vice President of Operations at K11 Concepts, and CHEE CHOONG, Senior Vice President and Managing Director of DHL Express Hong Kong and Macau. Thank you all for joining us today. Hong Kong is already one of the world's busiest airports and set to get even busier. As the third runway was just topped off last month in September, it took 5 years to build and is set to be commissioned in mid-2022. The third runway is an integral part of Airport City. So let's get the conversation started. Vivian, with you and Airport Authority, can you share with us the vision behind this new landmark?
Yes, you just mentioned about the third runway system. In fact, that's not the only investment we make. From 2020 to 2030, we also have another $40 billion investment on other parts of the airport to make that into Airport City. In the next 10 years, we're going to enhance our functionality, not just capacity, also functionality. We want to strengthen our cargo leadership. We're still the #1 cargo by volume in the world. We will follow the 14-5 plan as stipulated from the central government to make this airport the most important hub international hub airport in the world. And I just mentioned about, besides adding the capacity and adding the functionality, strengthen our cargo leadership, and also making this a landmark for tourism and for travelers.
It was newer development that won the bid to build the RDE complex at Sky City. When completed, it will boast Hong Kong's biggest retail space, plus dining and entertainment offerings when fully open in 2025. Larry, can you tell us, why did 11 Skies choose to be a part of this project, and what are you guys aiming to achieve?
The group has been very dedicated in contributing to the development of Hong Kong. The reason why we are interested in this project is that Adrian shared his vision, wanted to really contribute and making Hong Kong being competitive in the region, and will continue to be the aviation hub or preferred aviation hub in the Greater Bay Area. And that's why a few years back, we are very determined to participate. K11, in our DNA, we are very well known in curating unique type of lifestyle experience that around art, people, and nature. So we kind of want to continue to do that. Through doing so, we will be making Hong Kong Airport be competitive enough, be the first choice of the GBA travelers.
Now, while retail took a hit because of COVID, cargo has gotten a very big boost. In fact, Hong Kong International Airport ranked the world's busiest cargo airport since 1996, so for the last 25 years. Share with us, Cheung, DHL's expansion plans for Airport City and how it will cement Hong Kong as the world's #1.
I think as far as 2 years back, 2019, we already opened our largest not only in Asia Pacific, but worldwide, largest service center in CHEE CHOONG area, which feeds all the cargo out from our airport here in Hong Kong. But I think more importantly is the coming airport expansion that we have in our hub here. That one, it will be a 4.5 billion expansion that is going to be ready sometime end of next year. So that, again, is going to be very exciting because not only this brick and mortar investment bring in the extra cargo, but we are also mounting extra flights. So we also are looking into our air network expansion. I think the whole economy in Hong Kong is really going to be lifted off post-pandemic.
We're looking at an increase in capacity here at Airport City and at the airport. The workforce of Hong Kong International Airport standing at over 78,000 according to a 2019 Airport Authority survey. What is the projected Airport City population do you expect?
We had an estimate for the third runway system. We think that there will be over 123,000 staff at the airport. And there are also indirect other workers will be more than 160,000. So that's a larger workforce.
Chief Executive Carrie Lam last month carried out a topping up ceremony, of course, widely covered by the media here in Hong Kong. Can you share with us the timeline for some of the milestones of completion and what we can expect in this 10-year project?
We're going to have a very busy next 5 to 10 years. So immediately you're going to see next year, we're going to open up our North Runway. End of this year, we're going to have a new hotel opening, Regala, Sky City Hotel. And next year, we're going to see the first phase of the 11 Skies. And then coming up, we have our bridge connection from the government's cross-border facility into our airport. And then we're also launching our construction on Park and Visit and Park and Fly, these two automatic car park. This is a 6,000 space car park. And this will facilitate people traveling from mainland and either want to land Hong Kong or not land Hong Kong, direct fly out, they'll be able to park their car there. And so this car park will be ready by 2023. Okay? And beyond that, we also have our complete 3-runway system, which is a new concourse and new T2 concourse and new T2. They will be ready between 2024 and 2025. And beyond that, we also are planning to build an autonomous vehicle connecting the airport all the way to Tung Chung City, Town Center. And that will be launched somewhere that will be beyond 2025. So they're going to be quite a busy few years for us.
Over at 11 Skies, Larry, when I drove in today, I saw the branding. I wasn't expecting to see an actual physical building. Can you talk us through the development for you guys and in terms of the schedule of delivery, as well as maybe some of the anchor tenants that you guys expect to have?
We will have the office ready because one of the focus of 11 Skies is really to attract operators of professional service to use it as a hub. So some of those would cover wealth management, wellness and medical healthcare services, and also people who would be interested to take this spot as the entry point into the GBA market. We are open to businesses of those. And after that, we are looking at launching our first phase of entertainment offerings by the end of 2023. Some of those anchor would include Kidzania. We will have the first in the Greater China and the only one in Greater Bay Area, Kidzania. We announced it as well last year as the Skytrack. It will be one of the world's longest indoor-outdoor karting track, which will be a great experience for all the visitors around. And stepping into 2024, we're looking at opening part of the mall, the retail part, and eventually into 2025, when all the infrastructure ready, when the airport city link is ready, when the entire free runway system will be ready, then we will be basically complete.
Cheung, can you share with us the expansion plans for DHL? Are you guys targeted to be completing on time?
Despite the pandemic, we don't see any slowdown. Only some materials in the early days became a bit more, let's say, short, but we managed to catch up the time. But I'm also quite triggered with what Larry said just now. I'm a geography student in my university days. I'm always excited when we talk about urban planning and maximize the use of land. And happy to hear that we are turning an airport, not just as a place where people fly in and fly out, but we also have entertainment, we also have shopping, and even financial services. I think it totally turns the concept of airport into just pure a landing and a takeoff site. So I think it's really exciting times ahead.
If I may add, this is exactly our plan for Airport City. In addition to our land, next to us is the government border control facility. So imagine that we have the car park for people to come in from mainland, and we're going to have an academy on top of that. A nearby island, we're going to build out some restaurant and leisure place. We have the Cove. We're also going to expand our Asian World Expo second phase to have larger area for indoor performance for 20,000 seats of performance. And then we have a Sky City phase 1, phase 2, and we have additional few more hotel to be built. So there's quite a lot of activity in addition to the flow of passenger and cargo all going to be happen on this island.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why we have been saying this is a perfect location. Consider if you look around the world where you will have two ports of entry. On one way we are seamlessly connected to the Hong Kong International Airport, and on the one way we are seamlessly connected to the Greater Bay.
Yes.
So this is a perfect location for everything.
We believe that we're going to bring even more flow for cargo, flow for people, flow for investment to Hong Kong.
What considerations have been given that there are a number of other airports in the Greater Bay Area? Baiyun in Guangzhou, Bao'an in Shenzhen, plus a new airport in Foshan that expect to start construction next year. How confident are you that this will be successful given the saturation of airports, and how will you navigate all of this competition?
There's competition in every business, right? But in fact, in the past 5 to 10 years, all airports around the region, the most challenging issue is capacity. It's not about market. The market growth potential is huge. There's a number that we monitor closely. We call propensity per travel. The world average is above 2 point something, okay, per person. So average that you travel with a certain number. I mean, Hong Kong average is more than 3.5, even in some people that probably travel more than 50 times with that. But for mainland, that's under 0.1. So imagine that if they just grow double, then we're all going to be in trouble, not enough capacity. So yes, there's a competition. However, what we do here is to ensure that we can continue to have enough capacity to serve the market, and we upgrade ourselves with technology and also our service with our innovation to make sure people still like to use our airports.
In your respective industry, what edge does Hong Kong have over the GBA?
Well, To me, the whole concept of GBA is really about comparative advantage, right? Economics 101. So yes, there might be 5 airports within the 1-hour flight zone, but as what Vivian say, each of us have our own competitive advantage. No. So what can GBA bring to the table is a population of 72 million. So with that, a great talent pool. They bring with them a hinterland that we can have great export manufacturing capabilities that can then be fed out of Hong Kong International Airport. What can Hong Kong bring to the discussion really is, a state-of-the-art, really magnificent airport that is connected to over 220 countries. So, and that, coupled with it, brilliant financial center, state-of-the-art financial system with common law as a basis, and also a very professional customs clearance system, right? We have a very professional team of customs authorities that is very trade-friendly. And of course, next to it is we have zero tax, zero VAT. So all this together really is our competitive advantage when we put ourselves right smack center in the whole GBA discussion, in my opinion.
The plan to us, it's very loud and clear that Hong Kong should be the hub of professional service. And that's why we're here. Other than offering retail entertainment, one of the major purposes of the presence of 11 Skies is to make the hub for the service of wealth management, for example, and wellness and healthcare, because people trust the system in Hong Kong, as well as people that want to make this as a gateway to connect GBA to the world and vice versa.
I think that Hong Kong's weakness for our industry is a land issue. We don't have enough land, and also labor costs maybe higher than the neighbor. But then our professionalism and our efficiency really overcome all this problem, right? One example is that with only 2 runways, we can run to 72 million passengers and 5 million tons of cargo. Compared to any airport in the world, none of the airports we know that have both achieved such high number, only using 2 runways. Our runway utilization is #1 in the world. You can know that tells you how efficient we are.
As we watch the build-out of Airport City, Vivian, currently the daily number of passengers coming into Hong Kong is about 2,000. That is less than 1% of pre-pandemic levels. Is the worst over, and when do you expect Hong Kong's traffic to return to pre-pandemic levels?
A good news is that we have about 4,000 or 5,000 now. Well, yes, from passenger volume, we are 98% down right now. And good things are cargo still very strong. But we are confident that when the pandemic is gone, traffic gonna come back to the pre-pandemic level. And IATA have done an estimation. They think that by 2024, the world traffic will come back to pre-pandemic. The desire of travel or need to travel are still very strong.
Definitely after COVID, some of the observation is that there will be less impulsive trips, right? People started to kind of like really plan out. And if they got a chance to travel, they will make it a multi-purpose trip. So I think 11 Skies is just perfect for them. Let's cite an example for people that plan for mid-haul travel. Now they can get a chance to come here to do some shopping before the trip or after the trip. So that's definitely one of the key changes that we would expect.
Now, there's been chatter about Hong Kong becoming a smart city. More extensive use of artificial intelligence, data analyses, and Internet of Things will help streamline operations. There'll be e-boarding gates powered by biometrics and touchless technologies, digital ID checks, and an autonomous car park. These are all components that we will see here at Airport City. So, Vivian, how will all of this put Hong Kong on the map?
Our smart airport doesn't stop only on operation. In fact, we just draw a 10-year roadmap for the smart airports. This includes how we conduct our operation. Our goal is a autonomous operation. And one of the things that every one of you, if you travel, gonna see is using face as your token. You don't need to take out your passport or your boarding pass 3 or 4 times during the journey. Once you register or check in, your face will be your boarding pass and travel through our airport from checking security, pass-through immigration, and to boarding, all very seamlessly. And in fact, throughout these few years, we even get some patent application for the airport. One of the things we are number one in the world was that using autonomous vehicle to take the baggage from ferry pier to our baggage management center. And this is actually number one in the world, really using autonomous vehicle put into operation. And we also are probably one of the few airports going to be total 5G. And this is not just facilitate passenger using 5G to download movie in the terminal, and this also facilitate our operator, our service people in our airport. They can communicate through the 5G, through application to application, or using IoT to collect data to help their daily service to be even better. So yeah, we have a grand plan. We definitely embrace technology. We think that's our key of being competitive.
Cheung, how is technology reshaping the logistics industry, and how are you incorporating this into the expansion plans here?
So in the last 10 years or so, we're already seeing a lot more adoption of AI, machine learning. But I think what I want to really mention is really automation or digitalization is a evolutionary process rather than revolutionary, especially for a big company like us, because we have 220 countries cut across different time zones. So we can't do a big bang approach and everything changes overnight.
So technology is one theme we talk about, and so is green. And when Terminal 2 opens in 2022, it is expected to be ranked as one of the world's greenest air terminals. So Vivian, can you tell us under what qualifications is this taking place?
You talk about the new design T2 and T2 concourse. Both of them already got a professional Platinum Beam Plus award. So I think they're already telling people that how good design it is. But then that's not what we only commit to a building design. We actually have a committed schedule and program to meet government's targets, reduce carbon emission and using energy saving mechanism. And we are actually one of the first airports to request all the airport operator who drive the vehicle inside the airside to use e-car rather than using fuel. And we actually achieved that 100% of the four-wheel drive has to be used electronic card. And so that's just one of the way we're doing. So we are fully committed to be one of the greenest airports. This is not just the target. We also have quite a lot of projects to follow up. You mentioned about building design, airport operation, waste management, and all series of work. We also work with our business partner on the island. Throughout the last few years, we all signed commitment together, have a committed target to achieve to be one of the greenest airport in the world.
DHL Express will deploy the world's first all-electric parcel delivery fleet in 2024. Is there a future with zero-emission logistics?
DPDHL have committed to a zero carbon emission target by 2050. By 2025, 50% reduction. So to that end, really our carbon footprint is in the air and on the road. So in the air, we worked with a company called Aviation. We have a fully electric airplane, codenamed Alice, that will probably go into production in 2024. And infrastructural-wise, we also have hard-coded that in future, all our warehouses should be carbon neutral. What we'll do is we're going to put up solar panels, ensure all the light emission devices are all going to be very low consumption, investing into green fleeting, so vehicles should be electric. The airport is really moving towards a very green environment, and it totally embraces what we passionately believe in the environment part of the whole ESG pillars as well.
Now, we've been talking about the expansion plans of Airport City. What does it have to say, Vivian, about the expansion plans in the role of an airport within a city? Why does it need to happen?
Hong Kong International Airport is not just an airport. It's a very important economic engine for Hong Kong and for GBA.
Attracting more people to make use of the airport making it always be a preferred air hub, it's one thing. But the way we see airport city is also another meaning or implication. You know, to a lot of local people, airport could be at a place that is far away from where they're daily living. But we want to, you know, because with the presence of 11 Skies, with that many offerings by us, we want to make it also a destination so that people will really spend time, you know, in a week that they come here to shop, to enjoy themselves, to get some entertainment. That would be the new definition of an airport city.
So if this does come true, Cheung, do you think that Airport City will become a bubble within itself?
I think Hong Kong is the key nexus in the whole GBA environment. We always say that it's really not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. So to that end, you know, Hong Kong being small, but even in a sparrow, all the organs are intact. So this is really a sparrow that is yearning to fly even higher and fighting a fight that is even greater than its size.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing all of this with us. It's going to be about a 10-year project, but we look forward to the opening of Airport City. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching.